Change our lives on 3. 1, 2, 3. Change our lives! Alright, that's it. Okay. Has anybody read this book? It's called Closer Survival Guide. Okay. It's like Dylan has. No wonder he's closing mad deals. So great book. You guys should check it out. This is one of the first books I read as I was getting into closing. And I'll talk more about it here as we go through the training, but it's cool because I actually took this from Grant Cardone. He has like basically 10 mistakes. So some of these mistakes I took from his book. And then he has like 20 golden rules where he goes through like, you know, everything that closers should be following, what great closers do. Then he has like 120 closes in there. Some of them are pretty terrible for solar and didn't work too great. So more on that later, but yeah, check this book out. So this training is based loosely off of some of Grant Cardone's rules. But yeah, I want to ask you guys, what are we see new closers come up all the time and we see people struggle. So I don't know, from you guys that have seen people struggle or maybe you've struggled yourself, what are some reasons you think that people struggle starting out in closing? Anything you guys have noticed?
Just lack of preparation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, lack of preparation.
Yeah. All right, here, Joe.
I would say probably time management because they start closing, taking 2 to 3 hours each deal, including for mentor deals.
Yeah.
They get off the doors a little more, or just fall off and getting their own leads and self-gen stuff.
Yeah.
So that's timing, but that comes down to time management.
Yeah, for sure. Especially people as they first start closing, it's like, yeah, sometimes it's kind of a shock for them to go from just sitting and they're like, oh, getting prepared for deals. Spending like weeks. I remember Mateo was telling me, Mateo was like the best setter there was, and even you, didn't you say it took like a week to like learn all the systems and stuff? Yeah.
I feel as soon as I transitioned into closing, I showed up at the doors wanting to feel like a closer.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I still had to set the appointment.
Yeah.
So it's hard to recognize once I'm out the door, I'm a setter, and then in the house I'm a closer. You kind of want to blend both of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to separate the task.
Yeah.
Learning how to wear different hats.
Yeah. I remember Ashton does a training where, I don't know if he still does this, but he would talk about how he tries to do just setting days and then just closing days, just because he's like, I can get so hard kind of switching back and forth between setting and closing. Yeah, so it's not a bad idea, switch days. Tristan, did you have something? Or?
Oh yeah, sometimes like right away the closers, they see like a lot of success and they get like a big check and they just like disappear.
Yeah.
And they get complacent and then it's just like, it's kind of like going backwards, going forward, going backwards, and sometimes it just like doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's actually going to be one of mine, so yeah, I'll hear more about that. Yeah, Brock?
I noticed like with a lot of my reps in Arizona, not building enough rapport and just feeding the client as much information as possible, even if it makes sense to them. If they don't like you, like a lot of them will either end up canceling or just not wanting to do it in the first place. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think especially after the deal, like newer guys I see, they close a deal and they're like, oh, okay, it's good, I'm gonna get out of there. But you almost need that like cooling off period where you go back to building rapport and like your friends after the deal. You don't just sign them and get out of there. So people don't cancel on their friends, right? Then going back to the deal, people have talked about that. But cool, so yeah, that's a good start. So yeah, some of those are gonna tie in to some of the ones I came up with too. So yeah, here's the first one that I came up with. And mistake number 1, so that's not sitting in enough appointments. Okay, it really has nothing to do with closing, but I see it all the time where it's like, Mateo was kind of talking about it, like he almost stopped setting for a little bit. And it's like, no wonder we're not closing deals, because if we're not seeing enough appointments, then if we're only getting in 1 or 2 appointments a week, then it's probably going to be close or tough to close, more than 2 deals max. So like Jose, you're one of the top closers. How many appointments do you typically sit in a week, would you say, on weeks when you're closing lots of,
Probably like 10.
Yeah, so imagine that. And it's like, we can't really compare ourselves as we're only sitting in a couple appointments. Like, no wonder we're not hitting numbers like Jose. So most of us, we don't have a closing problem. Most of us actually have an appointment setting problem. So it's figuring out how to get in more appointments. Like, do we need to get our setters going? Do we need to incentivize our setters more? Do we need to teach them how to set stickier appointments? If we don't have setters, like how many hours are we putting in the doors? How many appointments are we getting ourselves? Because it's a big problem, and we're not going to be able to. No matter how much we sharpen the saw with closing, it's not going to matter if we're not getting in, 4 or 5 appointments minimum a week. So that's a big mistake. And yeah, these are some. So yeah, little throwback. You guys, everyone heard of the Golden Door Award that they do? Sam Taggart has his door-to-door con. So we got some OGs here. Michael O'Donnell. Maybe you guys have heard of him. Ricardo Ritchie. This dude, he closes like 400 plus deals a year. Just absolute insanity. This is back when I got my best year in solar was 2019. I got like 150 deals that year. I thought it was like incredible at the time, but my company was only paying like $300 a kilowatt, and so I'm probably making more now than I did when I closed all these deals. So I wish we were making the money we make now. But back then, so the point of this is I had like a massive team of setters, and similar to Jose, I was sitting in like 10 deals minimum a week, and so it's like no wonder I had so much success that year. And all these guys. Like this guy, Ricardo, he closes 400 deals, but he has like 20 setters. He's taken like only the best appointments that are confirmed. He doesn't go to an appointment unless it's like confirmed. All decision makers are going to be there. So he's picking like the cream of the crop from like 20 setters that are feeding him appointments. So yeah, sometimes we got to step back, and it's like we compare ourselves to other people, but these guys that are doing big numbers, not that we have to have setters, we can still make great money doing self-gen, but yeah, we got to realize that that's the reason they're getting in so many appointments, because they got different lead sources. Maybe they're working referrals. This Tuesday, this is something you guys could try. I'm actually going to do a lunch and learn type thing for we got like supposed to be like 30 realtors coming. Actually, my real estate agent, he invited me to it. He's like, hey, do you want to come do a little presentation? So I'm going this Tuesday to give like a presentation on solar to like 30 realtors, kind of like the, yeah. Don't come to I'm not telling you where it's at, but yeah, maybe you guys, if you buy a house or whatever, maybe that's something you can do. There's opportunities to create appointments from networking too. Yeah, if you don't want to go grind doors as much. Okay, but yeah, so common thing with that. And then the other thing we talk about in our squad all the time, this is something Javi, myself, we do this every week, but how many of you are tracking your KPIs every week in here? Key performance indicators. Okay, so you got 2 people. So it's funny, this is the app that most of us use on our squad is Tally. But it's funny, like we're always talking to our setters, hey, how many doors are you hitting? Are you hitting 50 doors minimum? How many conversations are you having? But what I find myself as I'm closing deals, a lot of times I forget to like track it myself. So I know a lot of us in here are experienced, but sometimes you just need to go back to the basics. So especially if you're not getting in the appointments you want, I would encourage you to start tracking these numbers. Because I'll have days where I feel like I'm working super hard, talking to tons of people, but then I didn't have success. And then I go look at my actual numbers, and I only talked to like 5 people that day. I was talking to like pure renters, and I only sat in 2 appointments for the week. So every time I forget this, I try to start tracking again. And most of the time I'll notice that, again, it wasn't really a closing issue. It's just because I didn't sit in very many appointments that week. So yeah, after this, I would go, at least start it again. I would just go encourage you to go download this Tally app. And I just put like, I don't even know if I have mine updated for the week. But yeah, you keep it pretty simple. You can just put like your conversations. Yeah, I need to go update mine for the week, so bad example. But
I was gonna say,
be better than me.
I find it useful to use one of these and also take notes on paper.
Yeah.
I find that I'm more accurate on the paper notes, and then I can just update this after.
Yeah,
But it's
that's good.
because you're doing so much stuff on your phone between Canvas and everything else, and it's just right there. It gives you something to do. You can either like distract yourself when you're talking to someone, so you're not laser beaming them.
Yeah,
But,
it's good. Yeah, so you can just, I used to put like a tally on a piece of paper. You can do that, or I've heard some guy. I think I heard this from, I don't know, Michael O'Donnell or something, that they carry like 10 marbles or something. Then every conversation they have, they just move one marble to the next
That's a good
pocket
one.
or something like that.
John told me he
like
does like 10 boxes on a piece of paper. And
yeah.
it stands for like 10 quality conversations.
Yeah.
He'll check them off throughout the day.
Yeah,
Comparable to that too.
yeah, like little game you can play with yourself, right? Yeah, I've actually never tried that one, but that's good. Cool. So anyways, yeah, that's a big, I think an underrated secret that a lot of us forget. We all tell our setters to track it, but some of us forget. Okay. So that's mistake number 1. Okay, mistake number 2 is just lack of a pre-frame. And this is something, you know, I really struggle with closing for a long time just because I wasn't framing the deal correctly. And I was actually talking with Josue about this the other week. You know, we try to record our presentations and all that. So I remember I was kind of leaving you some comments about this. But just like well, first of all, who can give a good like explanation of what a pre-frame is? Anyone have a good explanation example in case someone doesn't know? Like when you're in a close, how do you pre-frame the deal of what's going to happen to the with the customer that day?
Like pretty much what I'm gonna go over today is discovery, right? We're gonna go over your, today we're gonna cover over, you know, why solar. We're gonna break down your bill. After that, I'm gonna go over your design, and then we're gonna go to the numbers. If everything checks out, then my job today is just to submit an application to see if you can qualify.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
Perfect. Yeah, boom. Yeah, so super simple. You don't have to make it complicated, but just telling the customer exactly what's going to happen. Because yeah, when I first started closing, it was just like, get them excited. And then I'd be like, okay, at the very end, I'm like, okay, so the first steps are we're going to submit your application, see if it qualifies. And like, wait, what? I thought I was just getting information today. I thought you were just doing a presentation. And I'm like, oh no, we have to do this. But then at that point, the deal's already lost. It's like trying to catch up. So yeah, we gotta make sure it's super clear what's gonna happen that day. What are the exact steps? What are we gonna go through? And then what's gonna happen at the end, the application. Yeah.
I think it's also good to pre-frame while you get the appointment.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I kind of do. I let them know, like, solo specialist is going to come by. We're going to see if you qualify, do the application, run the numbers, stuff like that. Not exactly how I say right now, but
yeah,
you know, kind of similar.
Yeah. Yeah, even better if you can get your setters doing this even before you come, because people forget too. So I think the best closers, they're like framing all the time. And it's like, even after you say something like that, maybe as you're going through the numbers, that's like you're doing little assumptive closes, right? You're doing little trial closes. So yeah, when they come out and check your roof, when we submit your application, we'll figure out if you can qualify for these numbers. It's like constantly reminding them of what's going to happen, going back to it, right? So yeah, I think I had a couple notes on this. Yeah, so here's some, these are some closes from that book I was telling you about, Grant Cardone's Closer Survival Guide. Yeah, I think he has like, maybe it's 200 closes. But yeah, when I first started, this is all I was doing. I wasn't pre-framing, so he doesn't talk about this in the book. But I thought when I read the book, he has like delivery closes. I was trying to like model these closes after solar. So I would get to the very end and I'd be like, okay, when would you like to take delivery of your new solar panels? And that's the first time they're like hearing about it. So I was like learning all these closes. I'm like, Grant Cardone lied to me. He said I'd be a master closer if I just like memorize these closes. I was like writing on all these flashcards and doing all that stuff. But yeah, come to find out, it's really just because I wasn't framing the deal correctly. Yeah, and a great book on that. If you guys haven't read Pitch Anything, I would go read the book Pitch Anything, because he talks all about creating the frames and everything with that. But yeah, some of these closes are kind of funny. Yeah, I think one of his closes is called like the Just Do It close. And he's like, it's like you get to the end, they're like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, hey, I understand, but do it anyways. Let's just sign here. So I was like trying that in my closes for solar. And people were like, they're like, get out of my house. It wasn't working. So some of these, yeah, maybe not the best for solar, but yeah, you can go check out some of them later. So this is, I think, the best way to do the pre-frame is adding urgency as you're setting the expectations. So telling them why that you need to submit an application today. So I think it's good set the expectations, but if they can understand why they need to do it today, like what are the circumstances that they need to actually submit an application today, then it's going to make more sense to them, right? Because then it's not just you, oh, I need to do it because this guy says, but maybe it's because Trump is adding tariffs to all the panels, so I need to get an application locked in before all that's changing, right? Or maybe it's because, oh, right now the batteries are fully funded. We get funding from the state for batteries, but if we don't get the application in and put you guys in line for that, then yeah, prices are going way up with that. People are gonna have to pay for their batteries. So things like that, because that's another thing I remember, especially when we're low on appointments. It's like sometimes we're desperate to like sit with anybody that's breathing, even though they're maybe not even good candidates or one-leggers and all that. And then it can be tempting because yeah, maybe you will close, you know, 1 out of 100 of those or something. So there's probably still a chance, but it's like how valuable is your time? Would it be better spent finding people that are more solid too, right? I had actually on Monday, I had to walk out of a deal. This guy, his wife wasn't there, and I was trying to reschedule him, like frame him. Hey, we have to sit with everyone that's on the title of the home because just we don't want to put you guys in a game of telephone, and you know the state requires us to go through with everyone that is on the title for full understanding. And the guy got like pissed. He's like, no, show me or get out of here. I was like, okay, well, that's what we have to do. So he's like, okay, then leave. So I just got up and left. So yeah, hopefully you don't have to do that too much, but don't be afraid to like, if people aren't going to fit in your frame and they're not going to agree to the terms that you're setting, then we got to respect our time too and know that there's people that are probably a lot more solid that we can go find out there.
No grandmas with dementia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I love me some grandmas.
Though, if the homeowner is not willing to play ball or like within your rules,
yeah,
then there's no game to play, right? There's no game.
Yeah.
Right? So I like that. If they're not willing to play within your rules,
yeah,
then you know the deal's off. Right?
Yeah.
Experience it?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking from experience?
Yeah. Yeah, and most people, you don't have to have like hard sell, oh, I need a yes or no now. But usually I find if you give them like the urgency, if you say, hey, like I'm sitting in three to four of these every day just because so many people are trying to get in on the program right now. And the reason is, Mr. Homeowner, is because, not to get political on you, but the new administration is potentially changing a lot of the legislation and incentives that we're able to get. So we still have access to those, but we just need to make sure we at least get you guys in line for it in an application. So if it makes sense, then great. We'll submit your application so you guys are in line for all that today at the end of this. But if it doesn't, then don't do anything. And then yeah, just if you do it like that, then usually you don't get a ton of pushback. What's up, Jose?
I guess a good question was something I saw earlier this week, was just like, and this is for like all the high level closers too. Like how would you guys approach, and like would you guys even sit somebody that lets you know up front that they're shopping around? Like would you even sit that? And then if you do decide to sit it, would you still pre-frame the same way, or like how would you guys go about that? Like, this is somebody that called you back and said, hey, I want to look at this, but just so you know I'm looking at other people too.
I had
Yeah.
this. What I did is as soon as I sit down, like, hey, look, I went to the pre-frame and he mentioned he was gonna shop around. Like, look, it's been a couple of years, we wanted to go solar, we just started looking into it, and you're the first person we're actually meeting with, so we're probably not gonna move forward with anything right now. In the back of my mind, I would just hear blah, 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 and like, I'm gonna close this guy. And this guy's going to install.
Yeah.
So I was just able, like, that gave me a little bit of a chip on my shoulder to really give my everything. And what I just told him of everybody else, like we work with 6 companies, I can give you a price that's gonna be right here, but that's not gonna be what you want on your roof. So the way I priced you is I just really put my name on my back and made him feel that I was gonna be the guy that would give him the smoothest transfer to solar possible. So I really just gave my everything and told him, look, I'm your guy, I'm whatever he needs, we work with 6 companies, I know all the prices, I know the prices that are here, the prices that are here. I'm giving you this one right here because it's the best for your house. So really I just sold myself.
Yeah.
And at the end they both signed and they're going to install.
Let's go. Let's go. Gave it up for Mateo.
Yeah.
Then I also told him what Jack told me one day, that he said, like, look, and if you guys decide to shop around, just please don't let them know the price that I gave you, because I'm sure no one can beat my price.
Yeah.
So I had so much belief and conviction in what I was telling him, and he didn't even shop around after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fire.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with
think a
that.
good
Anyone
point too is we're pre-framing, but the homeowner can also pre-frame you too.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and I think it could be a battle of frames. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Sell or be sold.
Sell or be sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell or be sold. Because
Yeah.
right, the homeowner's saying, hey, just so you know, I'm shopping around. They're ready. I'm not going to make any decision. That's a frame that they're doing,
I don't
right?
know if you qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
picked your house yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like who's close someone that said, "Oh, I'm not signing today, no matter what." Yeah. So yeah, probably every.
How did you guys go about that situation? What did you guys?
Well, what I do is, every time I go to a customer, I just give them the best price I can give them, like right off the bat. So I just assume that they're gonna be shopping around like everybody. So I just let them know, like, same thing, you know, nobody's gonna help you the way I'm helping you. I'm real transparent with homeowners, so I don't play around with numbers. I just, you know, I just find out what they need, if they're gonna use more, and just give them the best price. So even if they go and shop around, they're not gonna find it like a best quote. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Transparent with them. and
I'm
you know
real transparent, because you wanna have like your first 100 closes, especially for the young guys, the new guys, you know, the new closers. I'm new too, but I'm 47, so I have experience in life, but you wanna close 100 sales that are real transparent and that you're the most honest person. So after those 100 installs, everything's gonna be easier for you because you helped 100 people. So those people are gonna refer you. If you go out there and do 100 installs, but you know, you're getting 15, 20K commissions, and they're not gonna be happy after, you know, when they see the increases and all that. So you're not gonna get referrals. So it's just better to do your first 100, be honest, and everything's gonna pay back, you know. A lot of times I'll make 2, 3, 5,000 commissions on a deal that I know I could have made 15. But those people down the line are gonna refer you 5, 10 people. You're gonna end up making more money than if you would have made 15K on that one.
That's good.
Yeah.
How do you deal if you have, let's say, setters that really have to get paid, but you also don't want to price them too low because you want your setters to get paid?
The lowest that we've been paid on setters is like 2,500. So I tell my setters, hey, you know, we're not gonna make a lot of money. We're gonna make like 2,500. And even with Renee, when I was setting for him, it was the same thing. We would make whatever if it was the least amount, but at least those customers right now, they're referring people. So I'm getting deals from those customers. So.
And they're not BPS customers, are they?
I'll be 100% BPS.
Yeah, they.
That's how transparent he was. You got to deal with all that stuff with BPS too, you know. Like
Yeah.
right now, I had an installation in Tracy, and I have my roofer, because BPS over there in Livermore, like they're the baddest. Like they drill 30 holes in the roofs and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So what I do is I send my roofer in. I pay my roofer $300-400 to go and make sure that everything that he basically Mauro, he goes and he tells them where the studs are, because like they gotta drill 30 holes, right? But
Yeah.
I do that because I'm taking care of my customer. I want a happy customer.
Yeah.
And I want referrals down the line, so I don't want
Yeah.
him drilling 30 holes. He goes and he tells them where the studs are.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah.
That's smart.
That's fire.
And you don't have to do that here, because UPS, at least here, they're better. I mean,
Yeah.
but over
Yeah.
there, it's,
I don't think so.
over there, the site servers
Not
are
good.
drunk and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard stories. Heard stories about that.
Yeah.
You watched The Office before?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
then just like kind of look at the camera. That was what
Yeah.
that was.
All right. Well, cool. So yeah, thanks for the comments. But yeah, no, I think like we've all seen people close that said they're not going to do it no matter what. So yeah, like you guys all said, I mean, it's just anyone can be closed. So it's not that we need to give up, but yeah, we just need to learn how to frame them better and maybe handle it. Well, Mr. Homeowner, that's actually why people like going with us, because we work with all the providers. So that's our goal, is we make sure, I always say, hey, I'm the Expedia of solar. If you guys use Expedia before, goes and gives you all the flights. So I say, yeah, that's what we do. And that's why people like us, because they don't have to go sit with 10 companies. We just put it all through our system. Then we have the quotes already. So hypothetically, if I can show you that we're getting you the best option out of all of them, and save you the time from sitting a bunch of people. And it made sense today, and there's no reason you guys wouldn't be open to at least getting your name submitted online, things like that. Asking the hypothetical questions, I think helps too. But cool. So yeah, that's mistake number 2, not setting a proper pre-frame. And number 3, this is especially for the new people, is just not getting your deals approved. Okay, we did a lot of these things. So if you guys haven't heard of this, these hero pace programs, basically it's a different finance option where it puts it on, basically puts like a lien on the home, and it puts it on their property tax. So they don't pay like a monthly bill for the solar. It's just now included in their property tax. Their property tax goes up to like pay for the solar on their house. So we did a ton of these, and what was cool, it's not credit based. So all the failed credits, we'd run them through this, and a lot of them would get approved. But the downside is these guys, they had like, speaking of deals getting approved, there's like 10 different things you had to submit. You had to submit like the title, you had to do income verification. Everyone on the title had to be included in the application. And then you would submit all these documents, and they take usually about an hour to like fully approve it all before you could send out docs. And then they had to do a welcome call with everyone on the title of the home. So you guys can go check it out. This is in Mira Mesa. This is actually the longest deal I've ever sat in. And it took me 7 hours to get this guy approved. So you guys can go to his house, good old Apon family. But I was in this house 7 hours. It was a 2.8 kilowatt system.
Yeah.
Made like $2,000 on it. 7 hours, yeah. Yeah, 7 hours in the home to get this baby closed. So yeah, it's just funny because guys complain about some of the stuff we have to go through now, but it's like, I'm like, man, we should send you guys back when I had to sit in deals 7 hours to get them fully approved. And even back then, we had to get like, when I started in solar, we had to run a credit check on the doors. It wasn't like now. I literally had to get their social and income on the doors. We fill out these cards. It's okay, we're gonna see if you qualify when we come back. We'll have all the results of it. So yeah, I mean, we're lucky now. We don't have to do all this. But this is a mistake though. Like, these were our approvals from last month. This was February, right? So you can see we had 212 closed, and we're missing, what is that, like 54 deals or something that weren't approved. So I think it's a huge opportunity for us to improve, and I know some of us are really good at this, but it's like teaching other guys to make sure, hey, let's get everything done the first time. So you guys that are running squads, this is something myself, Javier, we're trying to work with on our squad, is just having our guys, hey, let's not like drag it out. Let's get all the title docs the first time. Let's get, whatever we need for it. And yeah, I think we all know what are the things we need to get for deals approved. Let's do a pop quiz. Someone, a newer closer, what do we need to get for approval typically?
Approval, just verification call, site survey, schedules, docs, pre-qualification credit.
Yeah.
And full utility.
Yeah.
Blood type.
Auto pay.
Blood type.
Yeah. Auto pay, yep. So yeah, I think we all know it. And what are the hardest? Does anyone struggle getting one thing over another? Is there anything that's like harder for you guys to get?
Title docs.
Title docs. Okay.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Title docs. Brand.
Title docs.
Yeah.
I've got 2 stuck.
Why do you need title docs?
Infant's been having that pop up a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Having to
Still get
submit
something.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really run into that with Sunrun, but I know Infin. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How
It's
long
a
you been
secret.
doing solar, Taylor?
Since 2016. Yeah, a long time.
Around 9 years.
Is that 9 years now?
10 years.
I know. I'm an old dog.
1 year?
Yeah, it's been a long time. But especially for newer guys, yeah, I would almost send them like a checklist because I think sometimes guys just forget probably. So it's just, and I know there's maybe more than this for other, depending on the lender you're using. But yeah, full bill, signed agreement, CPUC, auto pay, verification call done. So it just should be like, okay, did we get all these things done? If not, then it's probably not going to get approved. And then some ones I added here too, they're not necessarily like required, but I think we all should, is just setting expectations. I think most of us have like the little legacy brochure in the back. It shows the whole, solar process. So just making it super clear, hey, Mr. Homeowner, this whole thing, Sometimes it's as quick as like 3 weeks, but obviously a lot isn't in our control. So here's the process, just explaining to them exactly what's gonna happen next. And then ask them for referrals. Okay, that's underrated too. I think a lot of people aren't getting referrals because they don't ask. So in my opinion, the best time to ask for referrals is right after the deal is closed, because the emotion's high. They should be excited about the program. You're not gonna have to sit and chase them down later to ask for referrals. So I always just have a sheet of paper, say, hey, we write down 3 people you think could benefit from this, then just pass them the sheet of paper. Okay, separate training on that, and then I like getting photos, videos. You guys see me post the photos and videos, and it's not really just for the group me, it's more for other customers, okay? Because if I have a whole photo album saved with every single person that I've helped, I think I need to update mine, but like I would go and I would just save a whole photo album of every single person you've helped. Yeah, I can't even find mine, but
That's not good.
I know, can't even do it. They changed their, oh, here it is.
Yeah, I'm still so confused too.
They changed everything.
I know, they changed it. But yeah, just saving like a testimonial thing of every like video thing. So if people need like more social proof, boom, I've got like 100 videos. So yeah, like and then some, whatever like personality other type, I probably have like a story to tell and a video to like show them of something similar that happened. So yeah, I don't do it for the group me, although it is nice. I more do it so I can just have a massive album of social proof to show anybody
Do you
that we
show
helped
them,
you.
like, after you've done docs, before?
Um,
Or when you feel like there's some hesitancy, like is that when you bust it out, or
yeah, usually just,
when's a good time to show them testimonial?
I think just, I mean, it could be when they have like a certain objection. I say, oh, that reminds me, we actually helped this person that had kind of do the whole Phil felt found thing and pull it up. So I don't always show them, but I like, you guys see me close a lot of old grandmas and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And this stuff, yeah, trust me, this stuff is massive with them.
Yeah.
Because depending on the personality type, if they need more kind of like social proof, that lots of people are doing it. Like the 2 I got this week, that's the first thing I did in the home. Hey, we just helped up this person. Have you seen her? She walks her dog around here. Because they're kind of like, they want to do it and they like it, but they're just hesitant because they're like not confident in their decision making.
Yeah.
So I can show them, look, we helped out 5 other grandmas, same thing. And then show them a little video. Usually works like super good. You're done? Okay, cool. We'll wrap up. Okay, so yeah, we'll speed things up a little bit. But yeah, so anyways, just having an old deal checklist, make sure you guys go through that. Okay, and then last 2 mistakes, we'll jump through pretty quick, but just not managing your accounts. Another thing that people slack on, were you guys here when John did that training on buying back your time? I think it was like 2-3 months ago. Okay. So John, he talked about how he hired like a senora for his house, and you know, like he has, you know, people to help with his kids and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's huge having someone to help with your accounts. And I know lots of Haley, Jack, they all talk about this, but if you guys don't have someone that's helping with your account management, I would definitely get on that. Even if you're not closing that many accounts yet, I still think it's helpful, because just the time you buy back, the extra time you have to focus on your deals, it's massive. So yeah, even you can get like a virtual assistant, super cheap, $300 a month. I have my wife do it. I know Javi, he's getting Kimmy doing it, right? Hopping on his accounts. And if you're like me, I got like ADD and I just like forget stuff. I start going crazy. If I try to sit down for an hour and like think about all my accounts, I honestly like lose focus and everything. Yeah. It gets like overwhelming sometimes. So yeah, consider getting help with that. If you answered yes to those questions, you probably should get help with your accounts. Yeah. Okay, and then last thing, guys, and then we'll wrap it up with this. Here's some account management tips. So I would just pick 2 days a week, give customers an update 1 time a week, use a CRM. I know a lot of guys just use free stuff like Notes, Google Sheets. There's one called Trello that's good. There's some paid options. I really like this one called Go High Level because you can send text to your customers from the account. So my wife, she actually helps me with the account management, and she's the one that sends text to my customers every week from this account. And then we can all see the, communication and everything. So I like that one. If you guys want to do paid options, I can give you more help with that if you have questions. But there's a couple account management tips. Okay, and then the last mistake, get scrappy with your accounts. Yeah, Jake, he always says this. You guys probably say, guys, we gotta get scrappy. He always calls BPS scrappy. They're the scrappy installers. So, yeah. So, I think, yeah. I actually got in trouble the other day for being a little bit too scrappy. The short story, I can tell you guys the long story later, but the HOA, they had locks on the electrical cabinet, and they were refusing to cooperate after like months and months of trying to get these locks off to complete the site survey. So the other day I just went and took a bolt cutter and cut the locks off. And
Let's go.
and let's just say I got in some trouble, and the customer's canceling now. So so maybe be careful with how scrappy you want to get. Yeah.
Wow.
It actually wasn't from that. It actually, because I was trying to get a picture of the panel inside there, and they have
Cameras.
well, they didn't have cameras, but they had a switch that I thought was like a handle to open the thing, but it actually was to shut the power off for the entire unit. So I shut the power off in the entire unit and didn't notice it, and I think they went like a whole night without power. And yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I got I got a little too scrappy with it. And I'm hoping that's all that happens is the customer cancels, because I have like 5 other customers in this neighborhood, so I'm hoping I don't get in more trouble, but yeah.
Were they pissed or there's like, yeah,
No, they're pissed. Yeah, he's like, we're done, and like screaming at me on the phone. Because they had to call SDG&E out there, I guess, because they didn't know what happens. And they didn't see me, so I'm like, maybe they don't know it's me. I mean, the customer thought it was me.
yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, I hope no one else calls. And I was like, oh, I don't know what happened.
Was it a condo? That's why they
Yeah.
didn't unlock it.
Yeah. And it was for like 5 units, so shut off power for like 5 people. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's bad news. Bad news.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Cut their power. Be like, hey, we're here with the power. It's like, should I go knock it tomorrow?
Taylor,
What's
put
up?
on gloves.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I should have.
Now your fingerprints are all over there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm hoping. I already went and returned the murder weapon. I went because I bought like a bolt cutter from Home Depot, so I went and returned it right after. Like threw the locks away. But,
Go down to TJ for a couple days.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So please don't rat on me. Okay, and then the last thing to wrap up here, guys, is just having a financial plan in place. Because I think one of you mentioned this before, is so many people, they get 1 BCF, they close a few deals in a week, but then they stop pushing. And it's so easy in this job to just like go make some good money, get our bills paid, have a little bit extra. Yeah, I know, BCF. So if we don't have a financial plan, and a financial plan is different than a budget, right? Budget is just how you're gonna like budget where your money goes. But a financial plan is like, what are your dreams? How are you gonna become financially free? Yeah, and it's funny, I typed in Earl to Pearl, and this is the picture that popped up for Earl to Pearl. I couldn't find a picture of him, but I guess he left. I was gonna get a good joke out of that. But yeah, just like there's more to this. I did like, a church mission thing. We weren't getting paid, but we were closing people on the gospel of Jesus Christ. So just, you got to think of things that are going to push you even when you're making money. Like you look at guys like John, he doesn't need to he's probably got plenty of money, but he has bigger dreams for himself. So as we start making money, we need to have a financial plan. How are we going to be financially free? Where are we going to put that money? And have plans with that. And yeah, we're actually doing, here's what Grant Cardone, and this was one of the things he talks about in his book too. Put a plan in place that doesn't just pay your bills, but creates financial freedom. And yeah, we're actually doing a little financial mastermind thing with Will right now. We're like a month into it, but I know he's going to be continuing that for future people and everything, if you guys want to ask him about that. Okay, but yeah, those are the 5 mistakes that I came up with. I think that's it. So yeah, just to review, it's like put a financial plan in place, create a solid pre-frame. What are the other ones? I already forgot. Forgot my own mistakes.
Managing accounts,
Managing accounts, buying back your time,
deals approved,
getting deals approved,
appointments.
and then not setting enough appointments. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I promise if you guys focus on overcoming those mistakes and help other people do the same, we're gonna make a lot more money in solar. We're gonna create some massive influence. We're gonna conquer San Diego, and we're gonna change our lives. Okay, so if you're with me to change our lives and conquer those mistakes, let's say change our lives on 3. 1, 2, 3. Change our lives! All right, that's it. Okay, thank you guys.